Sasha, back on the clay then, obviously the first time since Roland Garros last year. I guess you can imagine why you could feel tentative, but how's it been for you returning to this surface?
Yeah, so far pretty good, but I haven't played yet. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be back on the surface. I think the surface has given me quite a lot of great memories over the last few years. Won quite a lot of tournaments on it, won most of my Masters titles on clay, so this is actually the only one missing for me. So hopefully it'll be a fun week and with good memories.
How about your general form recently? Obviously taking real big steps in the right direction in Dubai, but how did you feel things went over the last few months?
I feel like I was playing great tennis in Dubai. I was playing even better tennis in Indian Wells. You know, that Medvedev match, I feel like if I can kind of dig that out and win it, and maybe I can go on to be in the finals there, you know, and play Alcaraz in the final there. So, and then had a little bit of a hip issue in Miami, which kind of carried on to here as well. But yeah, I've said it before, once my body feels good and once I feel like I'm healthy and nothing is hurting, I feel like I'm ready to compete for these kind of events again.
And tell us a bit about Monte Carlo Country Club. It's a special event for everyone, but I guess for you especially.
Yeah, I think for everyone that lives here, and I feel like 50% of the players live here, so yeah, it's a place that we call home. It's a place that we spend most of our time practicing at, and you know, I'm here I drive my scooter to the tennis and back home, so it's a place like no other in a way.
Obviously, as you say, you're very comfortable on this surface, but how do you find making that transition from the hard court to the clay generally each year?
Yeah, normally I need about 10 minutes to get the transition, but obviously this year with what happened in the end of last year, maybe I needed a little bit more time, to get used to sliding again and get used to moving on the clay again and get kind of that, you know, the incident out of my head. But I feel good, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, generally, tell us physically why it is so different. You mentioned the sliding, but I guess tactically as well, it's a completely different game.
I think it's the most physical surface that we have on the tour. I mean, the rallies are a lot longer. It's not as easy to win the point with a big serve or big forehand. You know, you kind of always get the ball back in a way. So, yeah, you have to be an all-around player more than on other surfaces to be able to compete here.
You mentioned it's the one missing from your CV. What are the realistic targets? What are you aiming for? Because I guess it's about time you sort of start knocking on the door of tournament wins again.
Again, I think once I feel physically fine, I'm ready to compete. It's all about how I feel.
I wanted to ask you as well, it's the youngest the youngest in the last decade top 10 we have. What do you think that says about the tour generally this year?
It's the youngest top 10 that we had?
Yeah, for a decade.
I think the tennis scene is in a way changing. Of course, Novak is still on top. He's still the best player in the world. I think Rafa, if he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the world. But there's a lot of young guys that are coming up and playing great tennis. So yeah, I think the tennis scene is in good hands in a way.